People we talk to, they've heard of it, but they don't understand it. And Steve, what does that say about where we are today?
I think that's a sad commentary, John, of the American education system and our public school system that's failing to teach the very fundamentals of our nation. I mean, the Electoral College assures that we are the 50 United States of America, and that the president is the president of the United States, not the president of the majority of the people who may be from the East and West Coast that may vote for him, but that assure that all the states have an equal prorated say in who the president's going to be. If you didn't have the Electoral College, you would have a situation where New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco could potentially control the White House. That will leave all those people in the middle who grow our food and provide our cattle and our water from having a say in who the president was. You want to see a country collapse into turmoil? Cut out middle America from having an equal voice in who the president is.
Hey, welcome back. It's a Table Talk Tuesday here on Liquid Lunch on NEWSMAX TV. I'm John TABACCO. We're joining you today from the NEWSMAX studios in downtown Manhattan. We're coming to you live as we do every day, Monday to Friday, noon to 2 Eastern. We go from big data to big campuses, and the big story here in New York, New Jersey, and around the country, we've talked about this many times on Liquid Lunch and across NEWSMAX TV, how college campuses are becoming toxic, okay? And there's a story out there about a professor at Rutgers University that's a little disturbing. When we have academic stories that are disturbing, we bring in our #1 academic, that's Fernando Uribe, who joins us right now. I said earlier he was from Berkeley College in New Jersey. He once was there, but he's at Bergen College in New Jersey. And Fernando, thanks for joining us on Liquid Lunch. This story, this professor there has created this narrative that the policies of Donald Trump are somehow a contributing factor to African American female obesity. I mean, I don't even know how you get that far. Maybe because he's cut African American unemployment to such a low number that they have more disposable income. How is this even a story that kids should be told?
Well, John, first of all, thanks for having me back on. And it's disappointing because, number one, she's a professor at my alma mater, Rutgers University. So I'm always like cringing when I know that my taxpayer dollars are subsidizing her salary. And one of the things that really concerns me about Professor Brittany Cooper is the idea that, listen, her goals are sort of well-intentioned in terms of talking about health insurance and better policies for people of color. But the idea of sort of blaming the president for yet another social problem seems to be sort of the blueprint of the left, and specifically the academic left on our college campuses. And one of the things, John, that it sort of just drove me crazy. I mean, she cited a study from the 1990s regarding the effects of physiological stress and how black women sort of deal with that stimuli differently than other demographics. Now, I understand all that, and she has to sort of give that narrative out there, but she went on Oprah's online show and sort of talked about blaming the president for literally black female obesity. And I understand it's clickbait, I understand it's a popular headline, but it's just academically dishonest. And again, this is what really concerns me, John, about liberal college professors. It's just about not only indoctrinating, but brainwashing our students, and quite frankly, it has to stop.
Little by little, and not little by little, this has been a years-long march towards indoctrinating college students, and it seems like these days you're the public enemy #1 if you're not a liberal on a college campus. Why do they have to, I mean, the minds of children are our most valuable asset, if you ask me. Why are these people so intent on trying to take over those minds and point them in such a progressive direction? Why?
I mean, John, to me, really, what concerns me is the idea that, it's usually these humanities professors and some of these liberal art type of coursework that really sort of add to this indoctrination. And again, listen, I'd be a hypocrite if I told you that I don't believe in the liberal arts, because I teach in the social sciences at Bergen Community College. So certainly, yes, if you're learning, whether it's about social work, criminal justice, sociology, political science, communications, public administration, yes, these are worthwhile majors, right? They'll get you jobs in public service, in government, in education, the nonprofit sector. But when we're talking about like gender studies, and again, no offense to my colleagues in academia, I can't think of a worse waste of time when it comes to money and curriculum. I mean, listen, this is stuff you can learn just parking yourself at a Barnes & Noble's over a weekend. To spend tens upon hundreds of thousands of dollars on this sort of major, it's just it's a waste of time. And professors like Brittany Cooper are sort of contributing to this by sort of adding this rhetoric and this dialogue, John. And honestly, it hurts our students. And quite frankly, it's a disservice to the parents that send their kids to these colleges and universities and are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So you're the host of Politically Direct via Insider New Jersey. What are your viewers and listeners saying there? Like these type of hysterics, do they start to mute legitimate discussions?
Well, one of the things, John, and something that I really try to sort of advocate on my program is, listen, I'm very much a centrist. I hold some conservative views, I hold some progressive views, but bottom line, I'm a moderate. I'm a homeowner, I'm a taxpayer, and what concerns me is about not just only liberals in sort of everyday life, whether it's in government, whether it's in media, but it's also in academia, how they keep corrupting the narrative and just putting forth this message that is just dishonest on so many levels. And honestly, what I try to do on my podcast every week via Insider NJ is just sort of talk about the issues and give all perspectives so people can make their own decisions.
Does this, I mean, I don't know what your listeners on the podcast, Politically Direct, are saying, but you're on the campuses, you're talking to kids, you're talking to adults, you're a political commentator, so you're hearing all sides of the story. Somewhere in there, there's this kind of, this effort to make the president seem delusional. It's harmful to society, isn't it?
Well, again, John, it is, because it's sort of blaming the president for yet another social problem. And again, listen, I don't want to sort of undermine her concerns. I mean, listen, she's first and foremost out there and saying that black female obesity is a problem. It is. But was obesity a problem before Donald Trump took office in 2016? Of course it was.
We should do a study on that. We should take a...
Absolutely,
I'm going to get, well, you know, this guy over here, one of my #1 associates there, he's a student at Rutgers University. So maybe we could look into the historicals on African-American obesity for the next time you come back and do a little comparison. See, well, is it the president? How was it under Barack Obama? How was it under President Clinton? Has it got better? Has it got worse? These stories, to me, they just start to show how the academics are almost delusional because they can't handle the fact that they don't like who the president is.
John, again, it's really obnoxious on their part because, again, it's sort of identifying yet another social problem that they wish to sort of pin on the president. Whether you want to call it Trump derangement syndrome or just hating anything on the right or anything that's conservative. Listen, I understand we're not all going to agree on everything. But the point of sort of blaming obesity on the president and his policies. Listen, we can have a discussion about healthcare. Yes, more people need healthcare and access to it. But the idea of just blaming the president, just saying his policies outright are killing people and sort of contributing to obesity, whether it's for male or female in the black community, is just blatantly dishonest. And honestly, and to me, these are the academics that continue to do a disservice to higher education, John.
Well, Fernando, I want to thank you very much for joining us. You're always a wonderful guest. We need the man on the street. We bring you the guests that know where the rubber meets the road, and our college campuses are under attack right now. Our kids are being indoctrinated into things, whether they know it or not. That's what their professors think part of their job is to get them on a liberal agenda, and that's scary. I will say this, I'm a big supporter of Donald Trump. I definitely lost weight under Barack Obama because his regulations on the market and other things were killing my business. And now that Donald Trump is president, I can tell you this, I'm definitely fatter because I have more opportunity to do business, and I'm not that mad about it. But thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Fernando Uribe. We're going to take a quick break. Come on back at you with Jaden Horn, Beth DeFalco, to mix it up in the Purple People segment. Back right after this.